Here is the haunting mystery of the Morning Lake 15. In 1986, 15 children boarded a school bus for a field trip to Morning Lake. A trip they were never to complete. No crash, no wreckage, no trace was ever found. For nearly 4 decades, their disappearance remained one of the most chilling unsolved mysteries in Holstead County. But when a forgotten bus was unearthed deep in the woods of Morning Lake in 2025, along with a survivor whose memories unraveled a terrifying truth, the quiet town was forced to confront a dark past it had long tried to bury. On a foggy morning in May of 1986, 15 children from Holstead Ridge Elementary boarded a yellow school bus for their last field trip before summer break. Excited faces pressed against the windows, backpacks filled with disposable cameras and Walkmans, they were headed to a nature camp at Morning Lake Pines, a place of cabins, a fire pit, and lakeside adventures. But the bus never arrived. No wreckage was found, no bodies were recovered. The children and their bus driver, Carl Davis, simply vanished. The case was sealed after 5 years, marked Missing Person Presumed Lost, haunting the town and its people for decades. Lena Whitaker, a deputy sheriff in Holstead County and former classmate of the vanished children, carried the weight of the case with a strange, persistent guilt. She had been homesick that day, sidelined by chickenpox, and had missed the trip. For nearly 40 years, Lena lived with the question, what really happened to those kids? When the construction workers unearthed the old bus buried in mud near Morning Lake Pines, Lena was the first on the scene. The bus was empty, no bodies, only decayed seats, a pink lunchbox, a child's shoe covered in moss, and a haunting message scrolled on a glass-lit list taped to the dashboard. We never made it to Morning Lake. Just half a mile from the bus site, a fishing couple found a woman wandering barefoot in tattered clothes, barely conscious, dehydrated, malnourished. She was believed to be in her mid-30s, but she insisted she was only 12 years old. Her name was Nora Kelly, a child who had been missing for nearly 40 years. Nora's memories were fragmented, but she recalled the bus ride, the driver's unfamiliar face, and a man with a beard who told them the lake wasn't ready. She described waking up in a barn that was more like a home with windows covered and clocks that never showed the right time. The children were given new names and forbidden to speak of their past. Lena's investigation led her to a series of abandoned properties linked to a man named Frank Avery and his unknown son, Martin Avery, both connected to the children's disappearance. Among these was River Camp, a secluded summer retreat turned prison. Inside the crumbling buildings, Lena found evidence of a sinister captivity. Carved names, scratched messages, and a chilling mural painted by one of the children, depicting a girl running towards the light with the words, "Casa remembered, she left the light on for us." The children have been held captive for years, moved from place to place, subject to psychological control and isolation. Some were locked in reflection rooms, pits designed to break their spirits through silence and darkness. Aaron Devlin, another survivor, stayed behind to maintain order among the captives, but eventually escaped. He revealed that after a fire destroyed part of the sanctuary, the children were scattered and hidden in new locations, their memories suppressed. Jonah, a boy no older than 10, was found living in isolation within the camp. He spoke of obedience, forgetting real names, and the cruel control exerted by their captors. A man called Father Elijah, whose presence instilled fear. Lena's team discovered a sealed chamber known as Room 6, filled with photographs of children in uniforms and a mural depicting a girl running through the woods, a symbol of hope and resistance. Inside the room, hundreds of photos captured the captive children's lives, while the walls bore tally marks counting days and punishments. The evidence pointed to a systematic effort to erase their identities and memories. Cassia, the girl who painted the mural, was not just a victim but a witness and a beacon of hope. After disappearing during the captivity, she resurfaced years later as Maya Ellison, a quiet bookstore owner in Morning Lake with no memory of her past. Lena's confrontation with Maya revealed the trauma of forgotten identities and the power of memory to heal. Maya's workshop for local youth became a sanctuary for those seeking safety and acknowledgement. With survivors like Nora, Kimmy, Maya, and Aaron coming forward, Lena filed an official report titled The Morning Lake 15, a case reopened. The survivors aim to start a foundation dedicated to lost children, those whose names have been erased but whose stories demand to be told. The town of Morning Lake slowly began to heal, but the scars of the past remain deeply etched in the hearts of those who lived through the nightmare. Lena and her team discovered a hidden hatch in the forest leading to a network of tunnels and rooms, a chilling preservation site where some children were kept in silence for years. Inside, they found a small recorder containing a desperate message, a child's voice pleading for someone to remember the truth and bring light to the darkness. The story of the Morning Lake 15 is a haunting reminder of the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable horror. It raises profound questions about memory, identity, and the lengths some will go to erase both. This case also highlights the importance of never forgetting missing children, the need for vigilance, and the power of survivors. Voices to illuminate hidden atrocities. What makes Morning Lake 15 saga so gripping is not just the mystery of disappearance, but the emotional depth of survival and against all odds. The slow unraveling of secrets, the connections between past and present, and the fight to reclaim stolen identities create a narrative that pulls readers in and refuses to let go. The intimate portrayal of Lena's dedication, the survivors' fragmented memories, and the chilling descriptions of captivity immerse readers in a world where hope and horror coexist. How can you support missing children and survivors? What raise awareness about missing children and cold cases in your community? Support organizations dedicated to child protection and recovery efforts. Advocate for stronger laws and resources to combat child trafficking and abuse. Listen to survivors and amplify their stories to foster understanding and healing. The discovery of the buried bus and the return of survivors like Nora Kelly and Kimmy Lang have reopened wounds but also ignited hope. The Morning Lake 15 were never just missing. They were just silenced, hidden, and erased. Now their stories demand to be heard. As Lena Whitaker and the survivors continue their quest for truth and justice, the world is reminded that no name should ever be forgotten and no child ever left behind.